guys, and welcome to a Fantasy Life video. I am going to be teaching you guys some tips and tricks about building on your island in this game. There's a lot of stuff to go over, and so I'm gonna do my best to go through this. I've never really done a building tips and tricks video before, but I didn't see any, and I decided to, do this because people are going to be curious as to what the sizes of things are, what the limitations are, things like that. So if you learned something, please feel free to give this video a like, and if you want to see more Fantasy Life, subscribe, and let's get to it. Okay, the first thing that you're going to need to be building with on Fantasy Life is actually this robot here. This is Hagram, and you find it in the depths throughout the story. You cannot miss it. It is a scripted thing to happen, so you will not miss it. Just keep playing and you will get it. Starts out only with the ability to do furniture placement and terrain manipulation, I think. I kind of sped through all this to get this unlocked on a secondary profile so I can still do my main, so I don't really remember if I'm honest, but you cannot miss this robot. It is done, this is unmissable. It is scripted. I think the pathing is also unmissable. It might be in a chest, but it's very obvious where it is. Same thing with the water manipulation, but the water manipulation, fair warning, is all the way at the very end of chapter 6. Like, it is right after the end fight of chapter 6, and then you go into chapter 7 after you leave the room with it in it, so just be warned about that. It does take a while to unlock that part, but it's worth it, trust me. Terrain in Fantasy Life is actually remarkably similar to Animal Crossing New Horizons in that you basically build up the cliffs, and you have to have a edge to them so that it's stable enough. One thing that is different though is that you can cut the corners off completely. So if I remove that, I can remove that, and we can have something that looks like this. But you can also have up to 4 layers that you can actually work with instead of 3, so you can actually go into the furniture department and put stuff on the 4th layer if you so choose, so you can go sit at the top of your castle and just enjoy life looking out at the ocean, I guess. Water is also kind of similar to Animal Crossing in that it's you need a space to hold it in, so you can't cut this corner out, but you do have the ability to do waterfalls if you so chose. So we will just do this, and like that. And then if you want to fill something in, just excavate it again, and it'll work just fine. And you can also do your half corners as well, as with the terrain. You can also do that with the water. So you can create some very unique ideas with the terrain and water, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what this is called, but it's something. But you cannot have the water go here if you have this cut off as a corner, unfortunately. So that is the downside. Next up is the paths. Now there are a total of 8 paths that you can have. You unlock them all at once. There is no need to worry about unlocking them at like different intervals. They're all there. So you have some dirt pathing. It's nice. It's, dirt path. Dirt path's always a staple. Definitely need that. You have a Mysterian road, so it kind of looks, I guess, a little cyberpunky. It's like stone and glowing, so I mean it looks weird. You got your forest path, so it's basically just an additional grass texture, but it's got flowers in it, so I think it's quite pretty. Then you've got the Tropical Road, which is my favorite one so far. It's just a light blue tile. It reminds me of Port Porto from the first game, and I love that place so much, and I'm so happy that we got a tile that matches it. Then we've got the Swolian Road. It is a arch tile kind of thing, so it kind of looks a little fancy if you want to go with that. Then we have the Desert Road, which is more just like a yellow brick. Which again is really nice. It has a very different texture. That's the one thing I like about all these, is that they have a very good variety of texture and colors to make things pop, and so it can fit whatever you desire to make. Then we've got the Devilish Road, which is purple, and it's a cobblestone-y kind of thing. So if you want cobblestone, this is your option. And it is purple, so plan around that. And then finally, we've got sand, another staple, I feel like. So we've got... And it actually comes with little shells and stuff like that in it too, so you don't have to decorate with that. So yeah, these are the road options. I think they are really well varied. The only downside is there is not just like a basic gray cobblestone. The only gray you have to work with is this one with the glowing green. But other than that, we do have a good variety of things to pick from. Now, before I go into the details of different things like ramps and bridges and everything like that, I want to go show you guys where it all happens. So you go into the guild office, and I know that this is part of the tutorial. However, some people might just rush past that, or they might not know it or remember it. So you do go talk to this guy. He will give you information about everything here, such as the guild office, islanders' houses, the infrastructure, which covers the bridges and inclines, gallery, which is something that you unlock at the artist rank adept, I believe, and the farms as well, plus your house. And you can change the exteriors, you can change location, and things like that. And then with the infrastructure and farms, you can also demolish as well. So, say you have a building that you want to move. Well, first off, you go into that office, you go talk to the plushling over there, and you ask him to relocate. Every option will have a relocate option except for bridges, I believe, and inclines. And so you go in and you ask him to relocate, and then once you go in there, you will get a relocation thing in your inventory. So you hop into Hagram, or you can do it on your own, just walking around. You open up the furniture option, and then you head on over to the building icon, and you see there are different icons for different things. So we have the ability to move the farms, the guild office, my house, a villager's house, and the gallery. Let's move the gallery. I'm not really feeling where it is right now, so I'm gonna go move it by my waterfall, so it has a nice backdrop. So we are gonna go move it over here. Yes, this is facing the right way. And also, as you can see in that preview, the pathing goes underneath the buildings. You can path the entire place and not have the green sticking out. Let's just say you want a sand island. You can go in and make it all sand here. And that way, when that is done, you have a nice sand underneath, and nothing will actually mess with that. It will just blend in nicely. Speaking of moving buildings, each building has a footprint, and I have them all written down here so that I can have them for ease of access, and I'm going to share them with you guys. Speaking of relocating buildings, we have different sizes for each building type. There's none that's the same except for the villager houses, because they all have the same footprint. So, in order to build on this island, we have an island size of 78 by 62. It's 78 across the top and bottom, 62 up and down the sides. The guild office is a 12 by 10, so it is the largest building that you will be placing and moving around. And yes, you can in fact move it. It usually sits here at the very beginning where the fence is, but you can move it, and its building it's got quite a big footprint, so you can move it around wherever you want to go. The gallery, as we saw, was a 9 by 6. It is the only one that is an odd number in the middle, but it is still a pretty large size. Not as big as a guild office, but again, pretty big. So plan around having a big open area for this thing to put down when you guys unlock it. The player's house is 6 by 4. 6 across, 4 up and down. However, like with the other villager houses as well, there is a 2 by 2 square in the front, which is how you can enter it, which basically means you can't put anything down in the 2 spaces up in front of it, so that you do actually have the ability to access your house at any time. Villager houses are a 4 by 4 spot with an extra 2 in the front, because again, they need to be able to access it. So it is a bit smaller, so you can make a tight-knit neighborhood like I have here. There is no need for an extra space in between like in Animal Crossing. It's just as it is right here. You can just put them side by side by side by side. Farm plots are a 4x4 space, so technically you only have a 3x3 farming spot. However, the plot itself is a 4x4. Now, bridges are always going to be 4 wide. You have to have a 4 wide bridge. There is nothing about it that is not 4 wide. However, you can have bridges be either a 5, like a 5 tile wide, a 4 tile wide, or a 3 tile wide bridge. Another thing to note is that bridges cannot be placed on half marks. They can only be placed on full squares, kind of like the pathing. Ramps, on the other hand, can be placed on half squares. They are technically 5x3, and they have 4 on the base ground and 1 up top. And the nice thing about ramps is A, you can have them on the half mark, and B, they can just lead right into another. It's just one after another. You don't even have to separate them. It's just, you can just make them go up. The only reason why this one looks like it has a space is because this ramp is a lot steeper than the stairs, and they actually go and stop here, but it's flat here, so it's a design choice. Basically, it's not a forced thing on just the natural ramps. And then unlike the bridges, buildings can actually be placed on a half tile. So as you can see, I can move it through a half tile, and you can see by the path that it only covers a half spot. And then with the house, again, you can put it on a half tile if you want. Again, the farm can also be moved and have a good footprint and just do half tiles again. Now, as with many games, there are limitations, and I want to point out that you can only have 8 structures in your infrastructure. Now, that counts towards both bridges and inclines, so you can only have up to 8 of all. So you can have 5 ramps, 3 bridges, which is what I have right now. You could have 4 ramps, 4 bridges. You could have 8 bridges, no ramps. And it's completely up to you how you spend that 8 infrastructure. However, if you want to get rid of something, you just gotta go remove it, and let's remove some wooden stairs. Why not? I need a new bridge. So I am actually going to build another bridge. I would like to show something that is also not doable, which I know some people were really interested in, but again, this is something that you cannot do, unfortunately. So we have the bridge outline, we change it around, it will not snap here, it will not go here, and I can even make this thinner here with a terrain. We'll grab my bridge again. This, however, will not go across a gap of terrain. It has to have water underneath it, unfortunately. Something that it can do is line up with this bridge. So, if you want to have 2 bridges side by side, you can. And as you can see, you can make 2 bridges cross each other perfectly fine, and they will be right beside each other. Well, one leading to another, basically. So you could have, if you wanted to, just a pathway going between the 2, and just have it be, I don't know, something. we can even do this like that, so you could just have a little island floating. I mean, it is completely up to you guys how you design your islands, and that is how you work with bridges, I guess. Yeah. So after this, I think I've covered all the basics. Let's see, I've got down how that works: path, water, terrain, bridges, inclines, moving things. I suppose I should probably give you guys like a little build in an example. So let me work on that, and I will be back with my build. done my little build. It is a farm build because I know a lot of people enjoy little farms, so I tried my best with what I had. I don't have a lot of stuff unlocked, so we are gonna go look at that. Now you can buy trees at the shop inside the guild office, so the further you progress along with doing your bulletin board stuff, I think the more trees you get available, I think. Don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure, but you do get more trees. Anyway, so yeah, we've got a bunch of people here, I guess, just enjoying this place. I think the farm might be functional. Yep, you can still get to it, so, you know, you can farm here if you want. But, yeah, we've got corn drying and some benches for people to sit on, and it's just a cute little farm area. I think this game has a lot to offer for decoration, and I can't wait to see what some people build with their islands. So, if you guys enjoyed this, please feel free to give it a like or subscribe, and I will see you guys later in Fantasy Life. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!